tea table. It is day number 4 of looking at Astral Radiance, and today we took a fan favorite card and we splashed some new stuff in it. I was sent this deck list from Twitter. I am unsure who made the deck list. That is my bad. If you do know, please tag them or retweet and comment on the tweet of this. But if you like one-ofs, this deck was made for you. So, we all know Jolteon VMAX does 100 and 100 anything on the bench with damage. So, this person decided to give it a partner, and let's jump into the deck list and find out who that partner is. So we will start with the Jolteon V and Jolteon V Max. The Jolteon gets knocked for 20 for 1. Has a second attack we don't worry about too much. The V Max does 100 for one Lightning and a Colorless, and 100 to any of your bench Pokemon that has damage. So usually it's just partner with Inteleon, as you do see. We have the 4 Sobble, 3 Drizzle that gets a trainer, 2 of the Inteleon that gets 2 trainers, and 1 quick shooting Inteleon to put 20 on Pokemon to help with Jolteon's attack. We then do have Manaphy to stop bench damage, and Zigzagoon that puts 10 also to help with Jolteon's attack. We have Sparkling Greninja, which you've seen in other videos. The point of the Greninja in this deck over other cards, I remember you can only have 1 Sparkling Pokemon in your deck, is the idea that this person went for was discard energy, and then you can get it back with Clara later. So it's just like, I think the engine they went to as like a draw more because of how they built the deck. Certainly you can go in other ways, but I'm very intrigued to see how this will play out when I do get to building it. Now, the new Pokemon that's with it is Samurott V. So let's look at the basic here. You discard up to 2 tools, attach your opponent's Pokemon. That's fine. It's pretty decent. It's whatever. 180 for 3 dark. Discard energy on this Pokemon. It's whatever. It's there. It's vibing. But then we got the VSTAR, which for 2 dark energy does 110. But if your opponent's active has any damage counters on it, it does 110 more. So you're looking at 220 damage for only 2 energy, and it has a sick V-Star power. During your turn, you may put 4 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Remember, you can only use 1 V-Star power a game, but that's the only Pokemon we have in the deck that does utilize the V-Star ability mechanic, so it sets up with your Jolteon perfectly, lets you get some cheeky knockouts here and there. It is alternative attacker if you do face Urshifu. Mew is weak to it, which is a big plus. And then Jolteon covers for any of the grass decks that are going to be popping up in the next set. So they really do complement each other well. So let's see what trainers this person did put in to make this deck happen. So we got the 4 Level Ball, 4 Quick Ball, and 3 Evolution Incense. The Quick Ball, Sobble, Drizzle, Manaphy, Zigzagoon, searches them all. Quick Ball getting all the basics. Evolution Incense getting the rest of it. Pretty standard for like an Inteleon type deck. There is no Ultra Ball in this one because most of your discarding is going to be done by Greninja, hopefully, so you kind of want to conserve the rest of your cards. There are 2 energy search, as we do have 2 different types of basic energy, which you can just search out with Drizzle or Inteleon. There's only 1 Dark Patch. So Dark Patch is a reprint. You get to search your discard pile for a dark energy and attach it to one of your bench dark Pokemon. So, I don't know if we're going to be attacking with Zigzagoon much. Maybe we are. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those games. But you just put it on your Samurott to power it up in one turn. Your opponent's like, oh, this is easy. You can't attack. Ba-ba! And you got to make those sound effects, or it doesn't count. Then we go to the 2 Scoop Up Net to recycle the Inteleon engine, the Zigzagoon, even Greninja if you got to do the extra digging to get game in hand or whatever it might be to set up any attacker you might need. We have Tool Scrapper. Discard up to 2 tools in play. This card has been very underutilized, and I'm excited to see it in this deck list. Discards, just tools, just pick tools, help you get around it. Just help maybe Cape of Toughness, and your opponent's like, I'm gonna have more HP. Just kidding, you knocked out. Got him. Then we have an escape rope. It's good in this because you just you set up the active, hit him 220. Woo! Next turn, escape rope. Hit the active with Jolteon. Knock out that Pokemon that had 220. Easy. Taking prizes. Your opponent's confused. They question why they're even at this tournament. They spent all the money to fight at this regional, or the gas to go to the locals, and you're moving on with a victory. We have a new card, which is going to be super interesting for bench spread decks. Previously, as you saw, we do have the Manaphy in the stack list, which prevents bench damage. Remember, it's not damage counters, like physical damage of attacks. But they have printed canceling Cologne. So until the end of this turn, your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities, including Pokemon that became active this turn. So, what that means is you boss's order Manaphy, you Cologne it, you shut it off, and then you knock out Manaphy and pick up something on their bench that your opponent thought was going to be safe. It's a really cool card. I'm not sure how many decks will play that are basically Jolteon and Urshifu. One seems fine, because you just need to really do it one time. Your opponent's like, alright, we're doing fine. Bop! Another bop coming at you. You hit the Manaphy, you knock out their Drizzle, 2 prizes, your opponent's confused, they're hungry, they're looking around, they're looking at their opponent to the right who's just shrugging, and you get them. I love cards like this. The surprise cards are sweet. You know I love them when I go bop. It's a pretty cool card for real, though, and I'm excited that they are exploring and going out of the norm and printing cards like this. Super cool. We got their tools. We got the standard choice belt, 30 more to V's, and then we got the standard elemental badge for Jolteon, only 1. Jolteon takes 1 less colors to attack, so you can do the 100 for 1 lightning. Can also come in pretty clutch. We got a Pal Pad, as you'll see here, because Pal Pad does shuffle 2 supporters back into your different discard pile, and that is good in here because, well, we got 2 Boss's Order, bring up the Pokemon. We got 1 Professor's Research, discard your hand, draw 7. 1 Marnie, shuffle Disruption. 1 Avery, which is really good against other Inteleon decks. You just have to make sure you do right so they're not discarding Pokemon that has damage you're going to knock out. You know, one of those things, but usually when you're doing it, it's before you were to spread with any of the ways you have to do that in the deck. 1 Raihan, power up any attacker instantly. 1 Clara, which is basically in the deck, I'm pretty sure, for Greninja. So you get the 2 energy back and you can draw more cards. But it does also get 2 Pokemon back, which is pretty good, because sometimes you just gotta discard something. Or you open Zigzagoon and get knocked out, or, something like that, etc. Does help you get back, which is pretty cool. Now, like I said, there's a lot of one-of supporters. I mean, I love one-of supporters. I'm the one-of supporter man. So I'm not going to question why they did this. They did win their event that this is from. So this is definitely, maybe they couldn't decide what they wanted. Maybe this was just a trial run with the deck. And they're like, well, next time I'll drop this and this. But for now, we're going to need that Pal Pad for all of our one-of supporters. And then we have another new card, I'm sorry, wrong game. Gapejaw Bog. Whenever any player puts a basic Pokemon from their hand under their bench, that Pokemon gets 2 damage counters. So, you see the synergy there. You open Gapejaw, your opponent can have a stadium in their hand, or they don't have one. Benching 20. You're already taking 220 now from Samurott, or Jolteon is going to be hitting you for 100. Really cool card. I might, maybe 3 or 4 is better, because you do have to, because you don't really worry about Path to the Peak, because you just got to do the Samurai 1 time. But this is a really cool stadium. It's a spiritual reprint of an older stadium, Team Magma's Hideout, that basically did the same thing. But, so you got to stay out of the bog. It hurts your opponent. It's pretty cool. I like a bunch of cards from the set. This is one of the ones that's at the top of my list. And then we have the energy for dark and 3 lightning. There's more dark as Samurott does take 2 dark to attack, while Jolteon only takes 3 lightning. So there's a lot to unpack with all the one-ofs in the stack list. This is the deck. I'm planning to go to Wisconsin for like the first regional when the set is legal. And I am going to be doing a test video with this, and I'm going to put it against like Arceus or something to see how it can pop up against one of the better decks immediately. But I'm excited for this deck. I think that Cologne gives other decks more chances. Like Urshifu needed it, Urshifu really struggling out there right now, But Jolteon can now have a cover for the weakness of Urshifu in a way where you have a Pokemon that's not weak, such as how Urshifu is playing Moltres right now for Mew. So it's kind of like that way for this deck. So with that, let me know what you think of this combination. It's pretty out there, but I love interesting combinations of cross-type energy decks. They're really sweet to me. What do you think of all the one-ofs in this deck? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like 15, 16 one-ofs. But it's very interesting because you're like, well, I can see where that supporter's played. Like, I can see where that one's played. Especially because you have the Inteleon engine and Palpan. Drop a like, leave a subscribe. I appreciate everyone watching these videos. We're at 120 subscribers. My goal before the end of the year is to hit 200. So hopefully I can get there. And thank you for the support everyone has given me. And I will see you next time on the tea table.